Hello, welcome back to PokéBoys. We're here, the start of season 4, which is very exciting. I'm super excited to get into into season 4, get back to PokéBoys. But yeah, leading up to the time we all jumped in here, I was just like, I cannot wait to talk about this game. And the first leg, I forgot how much fun it was. Kumino, my dude, how you doing, man?
Wonderful. As the tag implies, Mister No Sleep.
Mr.
I
No
have not
Sleep.
been asleep, so I'm sleepy, but I'm good. I'm good.
The sleepy boy tonight. What about you, Dad? Dad, it's you.
I'm good. Ready for
Nice.
this.
Awesome. Well, in case you missed it, the last PokeBoys episode, we actually got to interview the creator of Pokemon Infinity, Atomic
You did.
Reactor. That's true. Dad was there for moral support, and I, in hindsight, I feel really bad because I literally did not give him a chance to ask a single question,
which was okay. It was still fun just being there hearing Atomic talk.
Yeah, it was a super fun conversation. He's a super cool dude. If you haven't listened to it, go back the season 3 interstitial episode. We interviewed Atomic Reactor and got to hear his inspirations for Infinity. Some of his favorite Fakemon and all that stuff. And spoiler alert, he is my new best friend because he said the Bulbasaur line is the best line in Infinity. So I'm sorry you guys got screwed out of the best starting Pokemon option in the run, but Kumino, you did this to yourself.
I would argue he's the coolest looking
Listen,
type in this game.
I have to say, so far, he's probably right.
Yes. Okay. So, just a little. I guess we'll go around. Kumino, had you heard of this before we decided to do it for PokeBoys, or you haven't played this before, but were you aware of the game existing prior to us firing it up for PokeBoys?
Okay. Well, as you know, we talked about it
Mhm.
being a possible game to be played this season. Well, yeah, for this season. And of course, that made me look into it just a small bit. I got to see, how the game started off.
Mhm.
That was it. So starting up this playthrough though, it was good. It was good.
Awesome. Dad, I'm gonna say you probably did not know since you're a new Pokemon fan.
No, I knew nothing about this.
What did you think? Just like initial thoughts, without going into much detail of Leg 1.
Initial thoughts of my playthrough, or
Yeah, like just the game in general. Like, are you enjoying it so far?
I am enjoying it. It's not what I expected. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I think I was maybe thinking it was going to be more along the lines of Bushido, like the way it played. I mean, not really. Like you told me before, it flows in a more traditional Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that means, I don't know. That's what you told me, so I believe you. So, and there were some frustrations that I remember when I played Fire Red.
Does it rhyme with Dave?
Maybe.
Yeah.
As soon as
brave?
I was brave. I ran really fast. And used a lot of repels.
Yes. Then thankfully, I don't know if you found pretty much like 80% of the items that you find in this leg just on the ground and in things were repels and super repels. So
I'm sorry, I don't know if this is a common thing in Pokemon, but like you just walk up to something and it tells you find something.
No,
that is very much not common.
Okay,
That's actually a feature that I really like.
Yeah,
which
it
is really cool
pretty
because
nice.
I'd be walking and then all of a sudden I find this repel or whatever. Or
Yeah.
like if you just hit enter on like a tree or just a random object, you can find something. Like this was
Now
like throwing me.
that is a normal thing. You can find hidden items on that
Which is
aren't
really
in
cool.
Pokeballs by pushing A or whatever the action button is. But what you said about just walking, like you see this a lot with the apricorns. I feel like I say that word very weird. But in Infinity, when you walk over them, it'll auto pick it up, which is not like a normal feature in games. But even some other hidden items, if you walk over it, it'll be like, oh, you found a Pokeball or whatever, which is pretty cool. As far as your comment about Bushido and how Infinity plays out versus Bushido, Bushido is kind of like an outlier in normal Pokemon gameplay loop. Has all the catching and trainer battles, things like that. You even have the dojo battles and stuff. But that game is like 100% focused on the narrative and is broken up in chapters like a narrative game would be. Infinity plays more along the lines of like the quote unquote traditional Pokemon gameplay loop, which is go to town or go to professor, get your Pokemon, he sends you on a random fetch quest, and then that kind of starts your journey through what I call the gym circuit, which is travel to town, beat the gym leader, get a badge, travel next town, collect all the badges, fight the Elite Four and the champion. Which they're all the traditional Pokemon gameplay loop games have a narrative that you're also playing through, but it's kind of like the sidecar to the gym circuit. This game follows that style, which is your first playing a game through you. I shouldn't say first because you did Fire Red, but this will be the first game that you complete with this game.
That I have to complete.
Yes,
right. Yeah, that you have to complete.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I said I think in the interstitial, I played through this early. What is it? So it probably would have been like a year ago, early 2023. Just played through it for fun on my phone and beat it, and had a lot of fun with it. And when Jared initially brought it up to cover for a season for his pick for a fan game, I was like, okay, cool. Like I played it. I know it's a good one. So at least we got that going for me, but I wasn't like chomping at like to revisit it. Maybe it was because I had just beat it within like the last 6 months or so. But after talking to Atomic and getting to like rehash some of the memories playing the game, I got really excited. And then when we fired it up and played through Leg 1, I was like, holy crap, I forgot how great this game is. This is going to be super fun. So I was just playing through Leg 1 with a smile from ear to ear, just like going through trying to figure out what I want my team to be and how I want to construct my team, which we'll get into later. Yeah, just excited to be back in the world of Ego. So if you guys are ready, we can just get right into the leg, unless there's anything you guys need to talk about.
Did you ask Kumino what he thought of?
Oh, not really. Kind of, but no.
Like, yeah,
Kumino, your initial thoughts, my dude. I'm so sorry.
My initial thoughts, my God, this old man hates not having experience share all the time.
Yeah, they pull the old fakeroo on you.
Yeah. But I enjoy it. Like it's like I say, it follows the tradition with the caveat that it isn't based off you doing the gym challenges. It's more story oriented than it is the gym challenge oriented. So I can appreciate that. And I could definitely tell that they put a lot of thought and effort into the Pokemon that they wanted to put in the game in each route. So yeah, I definitely appreciate everything that they did for this game. I wish I could have got to talk to him.
Oh, well, I'm sure we might be able to, sucker him back onto the podcast at some point. He was super cool, dude. But just a brief little synopsis here of the game. Welcome to the Egho Region. You wake up in the middle of a forest with no recollection of who you are. With the help of a local professor and his assistant, you are thrust into an adventure around a mysterious island in hopes of regaining your memory. Fun times and tough challenges await. So much like it says, we fire up the game and we wake up in the middle of Genesis Forest. Not really remembering who we are or how we got here in the middle of this forest. And Professor Wormwood and his assistant Lucy are they kind of like, right? They which fun story, Jeff. All of the professors are named after trees in the official games. So
interesting.
A lot of fan-made regions like to follow along with that tradition. So, you have Wormwood here, and then later on we meet Professor Thorn. So, you'll see a lot of tree references and things like that. But yeah, so Professor Wormwood and Lucy, they're on a stroll in Genesis Forest to stumble across this unconscious man just laying here. And they wake us up, take care of us, bring us back to his lab, and kind of ask us, hey, who are you? Like, how did you get here? No one on the island has any reports of travelers or visitors coming in or off the island. So like no one knows how you got here. And we don't even remember who we are. So it's a lot of confusion off the bat for everyone. But of course, he asks us if we know about Pokemon. Of course we do. And he gives us a choice of a starting Pokemon to aid us on our journey of self-discovery, trying to remember who we are. And of course, as the winner of the Season 3 final battle, Kumino, he got to pick everyone's starters for the game. So Kumino, could you do us all a solid and refresh everyone's memory of who we started with and what your special reward was?
All right. So as you guys, if you got to see the episode, then you might remember. If not, go back and watch it. I'm great. But so Mikey, he got the Bulbasaur line. How you pronounce this region again?
Egho.
Egho?
Yep.
The Egho region Bulbasaur.
Mm-hmm. Rock grass.
He got the Egho region Squirtle, and I have Charmander, which Mikey probably got the best one.
Yes.
Because I got a shiny, and like when I started the game, so I could get the save so they could patch in the shiny. I was like, okay, it looks kind of cool, the normal version. So I was like, the shiny should look amazing. No.
What is it? Is he green? I think.
Yeah, he's green, and it's like it's not hair. I'm guessing it's like a scale or something. I don't know, but it's kind of like a little off orange, and it just does not look good. Like, listen, if any of the devs, if you watch this, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure one of you that designed it like it, but yeah, it just no.
I wonder. I'll have to look up what the the rest of his line looks like shiny. But Charmander's what? Fire Dragon?
Yes, Fire Dragon.
And Bulbasaur is Grass Rock. And Dad, what is your Squirtle? Water Flying, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's Water Flying.
I picked a great time to ask him as he
Sorry.
died
Yeah,
and,
water-
and went off.
Yeah. Yep. He's
Water
on cloud.
Flying.
He's on a cloud. So yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's
definitely
pretty
flying
sweet.
somewhere.
Also, before we get into this, one really awesome feature. Actually, I'm just gonna bullet point a few things for you guys. First, the amazing thing that they did with this game, if you play on PC or the Steam Deck, both kind of work together. There is online trading and battling. So anyone playing along with us, and the three of us, we will be holding our final battle in game, so we can use our actual teams. Which this is amazing.
Sweet.
A little peek behind the scenes when Jared and I were originally planning this, we were like, "How are we going to do our final battle with Fakemon?" Because like obviously, Showdown isn't gonna have any like Egho regional variants or any Fakemon that are introduced in this game. And this is how I got in contact with Atomic initially. I joined their Discord and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to think of some cool challenges to like randomly be able to pick a team, to battle after we finish the season." He's like, "That sounds really cool. Here are some ideas, but you can just do it in game because we have like the online battling and stuff." And I was like, "What?" Because that's crazy. You don't hear
That's
that.
sick.
So any listeners, if you guys want to, maybe this could be the cool like season 4 interstitial episode. We can have like a little mini tournament of like all of our teams in Infinity. That might be a cool idea. I don't know. You guys let us know. Leave a comment. Let us know if you'd like to battle us. That's one bullet point. Second bullet point. Speaking of Steam Deck, I was very excited to play this on Steam Deck. It runs like cheeks on the Steam Deck. Like, I don't know if like I need to tweak some settings or something, but I was very excited to be able to play it on the deck. And that dream was just curb stomped when I fired it up, and it was like it ran like a slideshow.
Yikes.
It could be me. The Steam Deck's one of the great thing, like the blessing is also the curse. Like it's a highly customizable console. You can kind of do with it what you can and please. The problem is I'm not a very like tech savvy person, so optimizing certain things usually does not end well with me. So I am not playing on Steam Deck. All three of us are playing on PC.
Which you had to like almost strong arm me into playing on the PC because I played all of Bushido on my phone, and it was so convenient to just have it, as a handheld.
Yes.
Which means I have to actually come down here and sit at the computer and play. But it's been fine. It's been fun. It's been great.
And I feel like I had another bullet point, but I forget. But those were the two most important things that if I remember the other, great. If not, whatever. So we pick our starters. I don't know how much you guys explored, but any listener of the show knows that I go every building, talk to every person. I like turn over every leaf in every town just to fully like encapsulate myself in the region and the game. And if you go to the second floor of the professor's lab, he has a letter from Silphco, which I thought was a really cool way to explain how he gets the starting Pokemon for everyone. And it says,
I remember this, yeah.
Your request for introductory Pokemon trainer package, talking about that. And like basically Silphco goes and catches these Bulbasaur, Charmanders, and Squirtles. The requested number, whatever he like basically orders from Silphco, and it made sure to say that they are like humanely shipped back to his lab to be able to give out to trainers, which I thought was really clever. A really clever way to explain why these three starters and how he has them to give to everyone, right?
Yeah, I really wish that was actually canon to the story, to the main Pokemon game, because
right.
It makes so much sense outside of just these rare Pokemon are always going to be here at the professor's lab. Like, you know, the league decided, hey, this is going to be your region's group of starters,
Right.
and you know, we're gonna have this company get you these Pokemon, because I don't care where you go in the Pokemon universe outside of Paldea and um, Hisui, you're not really gonna find starters out in the wild like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to know that, like, maybe Silphco actually raised them, you know, for the all the regions, or you know, they went and sent Pokemon Journeys. What was that group called? It was a group that they went out to do adventures and get rare Pokemon and stuff of that nature. I can't remember what it's called. Project Mew, I believe. Like, send a group like them out to actually get the Pokemon. Like, it would just make a lot of sense, and
Right.
you know, tie that circle together.
Yeah, and even with it being explained, there still is the mystery as to, like, if these are the starting Pokemon, like, why am I the only person with one of these Pokemon that I ever run into in the gameplay? You know,
Right, outside of, you know, your
rival, yeah.
and one random trainer with one random starter.
Yeah. So of course, I'm gonna be, even though it's not a Nuzlocke or a challenge like that, I will be nicknaming all my Pokemon, just so I've really formed those bonds and attachments. And of course, like every Bulbasaur that I use in any game, it is either named Bulbo or Baggins, and my ego Bulbasaur is named Baggins. Of course, Jeff, did you name your Squirtle anything?
I named every Pokemon I caught. I named my Squirtle Ricky.
Nice.
No real rhyme or reason to any of these names.
We're not going to talk about any of the rest of our team yet.
No.
Okay.
I did want to say it was funny because there was a guy somewhere at the edge of the town encouraging us to go through people's houses.
Yeah.
And seeing what you can find and talking to people and all that.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Kumino, what'd you name Charmander?
Okay, so my good friend and homegirl, Iluli, who streams on Twitch, her favorite Pokemon is Charmander. And I just so happened to get a girl. And I was like, you know what? In
Cool.
honors of her,
You gotta do it.
Yeah, I had to do it. So I named it Els after her.
Nice.
And I was actually going to do a Nuzlocke. I was going to do the Mikey Nuzlocke.
Okay.
But
I like it.
As you guys know, and I'm not saying this to get sympathy. So guys, don't flood the comments with "we sorry to hear that" and stuff.
Well, no, you can flood please flood the comments. Flood the comments.
I ended up having a stroke, and it messed with my left arm and hand. So playing the game has been rough for me since it's just keyboard. And I decided, I'm just not gonna do that because it hurts like heck. But I will play this game. I'm determined to play this game. So,
well, one, we're glad that you're here and able to play.
Yes.
And two, yeah, man, don't I tell you this off air and stuff, but like, dude, it is just a game and just a podcast. So if it gets unbearable, like, don't feel pressure.
Yeah.
But also, if you don't, then I will just have to find a new host. But it's okay. It's okay. No, just
trust
kidding.
me. Trust me. Dad has it on lock. But nah, I'm sure I will get everything back. I just gotta schedule the therapy because the medicine that they got me on, it isn't doing the job that they said it was gonna do. So.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you're on the mend though, for real, dude.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was quite shocked when I found out.
Yeah.
All that.
I'm like, bro is not old enough to be having a stroke.
Yeah, look at all this gray hair. Like, I don't think this guy
if
has
anybody,
one.
it would be Mike.
Yeah.
Wait, but see, that's the thing though. If I remember, Mike, how old are you again?
I will be turning 37 in June.
Exactly. That's the thing. I'm 39.
What?
Yes.
What?
That's what everybody at work. Just people from the community, like they be like, "You're not that old."
Right.
Like, y'all do realize I'm a year away from being 40, right?
Yeah, it's painful, man. I know.
Yeah, Dad's like basically
if anyone's
60, so
getting the stroke, it's Dad. It's me.
Yep. But anyways, yeah, we got our. Oh, by the way, one thing that Atomic told us in the interview too, regarding to Dad, what you're talking about the guy and the dialogue about going. He said, there's a wide range of dialogue you're going to encounter. There will be the super serious stuff, and then there will be just like off the wall crazy stuff, and there will be like funny stuff and like tongue in cheek stuff. So, yeah, make sure you talk to everyone, because I'm sure you'll get a chuckle or two out of some of these things. Yeah, so Wormwood gives us our starter and tells us to go. He gives us something to take to Professor Thorn, right? An old gadget, I believe.
The old gadget, yeah.
Yep.
So he sends us over to the lighthouse to meet Professor Thorn and deliver the old gadget. So our journey starts. In Haydust Town, did you guys?
Oh,
yeah. What's up?
Is that? I don't think I wrote down what town that was, but keep talking. I'll let you know. I don't know if that's the right one or not.
No, Haydust Town is the town that Wormwood's lab is in. So it's right,
okay. Never mind.
That part there. In this town, we meet our rival Teal, and her father gives us an egg right off. Excuse me, I got the hiccups right off the bat. Also, as Jared pointed out in our Discord already, shout out. If you go to the second floor, I believe, the PC on the second floor of Teal's house. Yeah, second floor. If you go up to the PC, it will allow you to turn on randomized mode, which is pretty cool. So if this is your second or third, or you're not an Infinity rookie, this isn't your first time playing Infinity, head over to the PC and you can randomize your encounters and the trainer battles. And what it said, if you lose a trainer battle, when you go back to battle that same trainer, his team will be completely different and random. So that's a really cool feature. I decided to keep it normal with my play along with these guys. And by Dad's look, I'm assuming you did not know that was a thing. So I'm assuming he did not turn on the randomizer.
Well, we talked about that in the interview, but I didn't even come across that.
Okay, yeah. And then Kumino, you talked about it, I think, but decided to stay normal.
Yeah, like I said, like I was going to do it. I was gonna opt to do it, but yeah, I just was like, nah.
Yeah. That was the other thing I was going to say with my bullet points. Version 3.0 is coming soon. TM. I don't know when, but it's in the testing phase, and there's going to be a ton of quality of life changes. He talked about a handful of things associated coming with the update. It sounds awesome. We are playing on the non 3.0 version, but one of the cool
2.3, it's like 0.6, right?
Yeah, I believe that's right. The cool thing though is your save file can transfer to the update. So
That's
anyone
cool.
who's playing along with us now, if the update happens to come out mid-season or whatever, I'm sure we'll all switch to the updated version, and you can too if you're playing along with us. You can just transfer your save file over, which is very, very cool. With that being said, there are no Pokemon encounters able to happen in Haydust Town at this point. So it's just a lot of walking in and out of houses, talking to the townsfolk, and then heading north. Dad.
I just want to say about the egg thing.
Yeah.
When we were at the fence, whatever, I saw the Ponyta walking around. I'm like, man, I really want that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm obsessed with Ponyta, and I need a fire on my team, so
Okay.
I'm on the lookout.
Is there any reason that you're obsessed with Ponyta?
Probably because of Arceus.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's sweet
Yeah.
in Arceus.
I
you
was
get that.
I was thinking that as he said it, I was like, that's more than likely going to be the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And not to totally derail the episode, but guys, we're recording this the day after Pokemon Day,
Oh
Right.
my God.
Yep.
and they announced a new Legends game. And I literally almost flipped my desk over out of excitement. Like, Jared and I had been talking, which, by the way, I know Jared's not on the pod anymore, but we still talk all the time. And
Right, Jared is a good member
dude,
of the
love
community.
Jared. Love
good dude.
Jared. And he'll make an appearance back on in a season or episode or whatever. But we were talking, and he was like, what are you like? What are your predictions? Are you expecting anything? And I'm like, this year, I'm going in with negative expectations. Like, I already am saying that this Pokemon Presents sucks, and it hasn't even aired yet. And it turned out to be like an amazing mentality to go into it with, because I was blown out of the water by the Legends ZA announcement. Holy crap, I'm so excited. But also the TCG Pocket looks pretty sick. I'm probably going to get that when it comes out.
Me too.
But we can definitely talk about Legends ZA on,
or as the young people are calling it, Legends Zaza.
Zaza.
I will not say that. As the youngest person here, I will definitely not co-sign that.
Good. Good.
But yeah, so nothing really to do in Haydust Town at this point. So we head north up to Moonstone Path.
I went south first.
You did? Of course. Did you happen to also surf and fly all over the map? Like, what kind of weird, like,
no, but I tried.
did you do
I tried to. Dang it. No, but going south, we just run into the Mareep. Blocking the path.
And the girl letting us know that we can't go down there.
Not yet, anyway.
Well,
but yeah,
I forgot you guys. I mean, I think subconsciously I was like, yeah, don't go down there.
You know.
Yeah. So we head up to Moonstone Path, and here we start getting some encounters, which is pretty nice. I can't remember. I think what I did is I beelined it to the first place. There's a Pokemart, so I could buy Pokeballs, and then I came back and started catching things. So do you guys want to go through any encounters and stuff that you had on this route, or do you want to revisit it later?
We can talk about it now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it now.
So I caught a Poliwag, named her Polly. My name's just a forewarning, not very creative this this time around. I've been drawn a blank, but I caught a Skunky, named her Dell after Tank Dell from the wide receiver from the Houston Texans. My shining gem of a fantasy football pick that I picked in my dynasty league last year. Skunky evolves in Skuntank, Tank Dell. Had to name it Dell. Anyways, we get there eventually. But what I was really grinding for on this route. Here's another fun little tidbit. You can go and sleep in a bed for a set amount of hours to change the time of day. So if you're looking to catch because this game follows the morning, day, night time cycle. Each time period has different encounters, obviously. I really wanted an Egho Hoot Hoot and Noctowl that will eventually evolve into a really awesome new evolution. So I went, slept, and then just grinded because I think it's like a 5% or something encounter rate. So I took some time to get the Egho Hoot Hoot, the variant of the Hoot Hoot. Yes.
Okay, so real quick, I did not know that. I thought, like when I seen that you could set the time, I was like, oh, that's a nice feature. I'll sleep for, set amount of hours. I thought it wasn't going to have no real impact on the game. Because when I did this, it was nighttime. So I was like, okay. And it was still nighttime. Because I only slept like 2-3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after that, I saved and then I came back. I'm gonna just put you like this: for 2 days straight, I was in nighttime. And I was like, okay, maybe it doesn't work that way. I don't know. And then so when I finally made it to Thorn's lab, is when I realized, wait, this has something to do with it. Slept an hour and the sun came back up, and I was like,
nice.
So I missed out on a lot of stuff.
You're gonna be going back.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, the day of the week also is important in this game because they're on Merchant's Ridge and in other towns and whatnot. I don't know why I said it like that. It was a lot of emphasis on certain letters there when I said Merchant's Ridge. But there are vendors and things that happen on certain days of the week, like Friday. Throwing that out and no specific reason. So time and day of the week matters for certain things. Another cool thing, I don't suggest playing off the wiki, but there is a pretty good wiki for this game, unlike Bushido that has nothing online at this point anymore. Infinity does have a pretty good one, but I recommend like trying to just play through this as naturally as possible without looking up much stuff. It's more enjoyable that way. But yeah, caught the Egho Hoot Hoot and named it Toots. And I encountered my first Fakemon that I didn't even know was in this game. And it is a calf pint, which is a baby calf bovine Pokemon that evolves into either Miltank. No, is it? No, it's Tauros or Bouffalant, I believe, based on its gender.
One of the trainers had the calf pint too.
Yeah.
Trainer Paxton.
The first one that you battle when you leave town.
So if you go to Moonstone Path, you can catch one yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up and see exactly what it involves into because it was Miltank or Tauros, depending on its gender. So, cool Fakemon right there on the first route. It's always fun. I did not catch it though. Anything of note for you guys on Moonstone Path?
Okay, so I did catch one because I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to catch the newish Pokemon or regional forms if I can. But yeah, I'm not using it because it's hideous. Like I was like every time I've ever seen a pre-evolution that had the same premise for Miltank / Tauros, it always looked adorable and make you want to cuddle it. I see this thing and I'm like, I'm supposed to see this thing in a dungeon somewhere and be running for my life. Like,
It
That's
does look pretty
hilarious.
menacing.
That's
yeah, so
hilarious.
no. My God.
What about you, Jeff? Anything on Moonstone Path?
I wanted to catch the hoot hoot, but
No.
I did not. I caught a Poliwag, whatever.
Yeah.
Named it Molly.
Molly the Polly. I like it.
So I don't know. I might be blending a couple sections together. I met a kid by the pond
Okay.
who gives us something. Did you guys get there? It's like you had to kind of go through some trees, I think, maybe, and then go down. You get a fishing rod.
Oh yeah. From the
Oh yeah,
fisherman.
yeah.
I got the old rod. Yeah.
Yep, the old rod. Yeah, that was pretty much
I
it.
got it right after the hoot battle.
Mm-hmm.
The trainer with the hoot got it right after that.
Yeah. So did you catch an Egho Kumino, or have you caught anything up to this point?
Yeah. So I got the overworld Starling.
Okay.
I got the overworld Lotad. The overworld Starling I named Rowdy. The Lotad I named Sassy. I got a Centric that I named Kipper. And then from that point, like I was able to walk through the grass and not encounter anything, so it was kind of odd. But when I made it up to Merchant's Ridge, I got the overworld Meowth that I named Kitta after a cat that I used to have.
Nice.
And I did some stuff in the grass, and I found a Rox that I named Fancy,
nice.
and a Wingo that I named May.
Nice. Yeah, one thing about the static encounters that I found out through dialogue with an NPC, they are stronger and have a chance at knowing better moves than
knowing the egg moves.
Encounters in the grass. So I'm glad you brought up the static encounters, because after all of the farming and grinding for the Egho Hoot Hoot, I found a static one that I ended up catching and replacing the one that I grinded for, because it knew Hypnosis and Moonlight, which was pretty cool.
I seem to have not wrote down that I caught it, but yeah, I have it because it's on my team.
Nice.
I didn't know that the ones that were like roaming around were stronger.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily stronger. Is that they have? Well, no, they are stronger. They are, because they are higher level.
Yeah.
I believe they have at the very least a preferred nature towards their stats and the egg move.
Yeah. And then man,
there was
I wrote it down here. Static encounters have a chance at hidden abilities and better move sets. And I think one thing I also noticed in the cave that we'll get to is when you do run into, if you encounter a Pokemon that has a hidden ability, it'll say like, this Geodude has a hidden ability, which is really cool. Which is really cool to know, like, up front. So is that like a normal thing that the normal games do, Kumino, or
no?
Okay, I didn't think so. So yeah, it's very handy if you're out there grinding for the hidden move version. So you don't have to just catch like 100 and check the summary page and all that. So yeah, so we make it up. You brought up Merchant's Ridge. That's just north of Moonstone Path here. And Merchant's Ridge is pretty cool. As you notice, as you walk through, there's 4 to 6 like merchant tents there, vendor tents. And like I was saying earlier, depending on what day you visit Merchant's Ridge, a different vendor will be there. There might be 1 or 2 that are there all the time, but yeah, there's rotating vendors based on the day, and they all sell different things, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we get up there. I caught a Poochyena and named her Hooch. And again, I ended up replacing this one with a static encounter that I caught on Stone Dust Trail. Again, do I? Yeah, I'll tease these, but I'm not going to say what they evolve into. So I wanted the Egho Hoot Hoot because 1 regional variant, but it has a new evolution. I really wanted the Poochyena because it has a really cool new evolution that I did not use before. So
it does. Okay.
It does. And I'm very excited to use it. But I will not say anything until I evolve it in game because I do not want to spoil anything for anyone. Just know, if you're a fan of Poochyena, it has new evolution.
But see, now that's type overlapping.
I know. That part hurts. I have quite a bit of that already. But yeah, that's all I have written down for what I did on Merchant's Ridge.
Is this before Sea Ridge Town?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
I did catch 2 more things before we get to there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I caught a Sentret.
Nice.
Named it Trent.
Hey, that's my father-in-law's name.
I caught a Hoppip.
Nice.
Named it Happy. Yeah. And then I made a note that there's stuff hidden everywhere. There's literally stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I was taking a note like, yeah, I found this, and
right?
then I got tired because I was finding so much stuff.
I stopped making those notes, except for when I get into Stone Dust Trail. A bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so much stuff in there. Trust me, I know. I had to spend at least 4 to 5 hours in there.
Yes.
Because okay, we're gonna talk about it later. I did not realize the ladder was down there in the bottom corner. And so I'm just like, where is this exit? Oh my God. So
it was painful. It was painful.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I got up and cooked dinner and everything. That's how long I was thinking.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So sorry, I was trying to find a Merchant's Ridge page on the wiki. Because there is some cool stuff here. There's a traveling merchant that shows up on Saturday nights. It has special items for sale. There are 3 different colored stalls, and they all, I believe, are there on different days. Like the purple stall, for example, there's a female shopkeeper and a male shopkeeper, and the female shopkeeper sells different versions of Pokeballs. The male shopkeeper has some evolution stones, Kumino's favorite slowpoke tails, things like that. The orange stall sells your protein, carbos, iron, etc. The magenta stall, the old man, he sells, which I don't know why. There has to be a reason, but he sells pearls and nuggets, which is usually what you sell them to make money.
Like, that's very odd. I seen that and I was like, what? Why would I buy it from you when I'm trying to find them to sell to you? No, sir. No, get away from me.
Trying to pull a quick one on you.
Right. But I did not know that the ball salesman swapped out, because I had bought a couple of quick balls. I was like, yes. And then I went back and I was like, where are the quick balls?
Yeah. You got to go back every day. There's something different, which is really cool. I really like that. But to the east of Merchants Ridge is Sea Ridge Town. So we're slowly making our way. One thing, the map, Ego Island is not a huge region. So in this first leg, we cover like 40% of the map probably. But don't let
But there's a lot of stuff going on.
yeah, don't let the
Yeah.
map size fool you into think there's not a lot of content in this game.
There's so much. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Which just a quick tangent, that yields for Pokemon Legends ZA, being that the map is supposed to only be Lumio City.
Yeah.
So remember that, people. For everybody that's complaining about it's just going to be Lumio City. Hey, you can pack a lot into just one city.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll have to assemble all the Pokemon masters for a Legends Zaza. No, I said I wasn't going to do that. Legends ZA breakdown or something. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Sea Ridge Town. So we're heading east. Still trying to make our way to that dang lighthouse to talk to Thorn. Sea Ridge Town. This is the first town where we have a Pokemon Center and a Pokemart. So like I said earlier, I just beelined straight to Sea Ridge Town, bought some Pokeballs, went back to Moonstone Path, and started catching Pokemon. Here we have Name Raider, Happiness person. We have you run into I love this guy, the avid shiny collector Donnie, when you go to the Pokemon Center, which he'll come back later. Don't worry. Which, by the way, the shiny rate is 1 in 3,000. So I don't know. Is that higher than a higher shiny chance than normal?
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. He said 1 in 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah. So the normal games at the very, especially the generation that this fan made is based off of, or that they used to make it, I want to say it was 1 in every 8,000. So yeah.
Nice. So not as soul crushing to grind. I mean, still sucks, but not that bad. Excuse me. Though, if you explore and go into Donnie's house, you can talk to his brother, and he wants to trade you a Shelder for a Dunsparce. Of course, you don't have Dunsparce yet, but maybe if you catch one, you might want to go trade for the Shelder. Just gonna throw that out there. But outside of healing your Pokemon, getting your first Mart, there isn't an incredible amount of things to do here in Sea Ridge Town. There is, like, as you walk in, you guys saw the like little event with the boy and his grandma.
Yeah, the little boy, he's talking with his grandma, talking about seeing a Swablu fly off into a tree, and he wants to go see it. And grandma's like, "No, you got to get in the house." And when you go in the house, he tells you that she won't allow him to because he might get a disease from the Swablu. And I was like, "Wait, is it a toxic? Like, is it poison type or something?" So of course, I immediately went to go search for the tree, and yeah, I like it. It's good. It's ice flying. No, ice normal. Ice normal Swablu. And boy, my God, it helps in the beginning of the game.
Yes. And the Ego Altaria is Dragon Ice, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So yeah, if you go up to so if you're looking at the map like I am right now, if you go to the tree furthest behind the Pokemon Center, that is where the Swablu is hanging out. And so if you go over to that upper right corner on the cliff, you'll see like a little spot in the tree. Go click on it. You can encounter the Swablu if you haven't already. But yeah, outside of that, there's a house in the south portion of Sea Ridge here that has a handful of berries growing. You can go pick, which is kind of nice. But outside of that, we're moving along. I think there's a TM you can find here, but again, like you guys said, there are so many items to be found in this game, and like I found probably like 15 or so items, probably hidden items. I'm not going to note them all down. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like way too much.
what you'll end up thinking that you're not going to be able to make enough money to keep up with the potions and stuff that you would need.
Mhm.
But with the items that you find, like you find an abundance and you're able to sell some off to make a little extra money. So it
Mhm.
helps.
Yeah, like I'm sitting here on the wiki, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 hidden items in this town.
Wow.
Not all are accessible right off the bat. Like some of them are going to
Right.
need like surf or cut. But this is just in Sea Ridge Town, 19 things you can find. So yeah, I'm not going to note them all down in our playthrough because then I'll spend more time noting these down than actually playing the leg of the game. So
Right, I swear. But now I noticed something funny in the Pokemon Center.
yeah,
It's a man sitting off to the side by himself, and he's talking about how great it is that the Pokemon Center, is willing to heal up your Pokemon for free, unlike some places in the world where the healthcare they make you pay to save your life. And I said, oh, I feel this same way in real life. So we sat and we talked and had a few beers. He is now my friend. His name is Bob. Bob has a wonderful family.
now you didn't catch him and employ him like the
No.
other game that we play, right?
No.
Okay,
This
no,
Bob
you left
is still free.
Okay,
He's still chilling at the Pokemon Center.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, another fun fact from the interview: he made this like during COVID, so you might see a lot of things like that. So,
Yeah.
so we make our way east to Stone Dust Trail. Just a little.
Hold up.
Yeah.
There was a house where you could go upstairs. I don't know if you've mentioned this.
Okay.
Where you can. There's a guy. He rates your nicknames,
Mm-hmm.
and you can change your nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name rater, yeah.
And then on the wall, there's a list of names on each poster.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
I wonder like where they came up with those names. If those are like names that they like to use in their playthroughs, or if they just random
there
name
were
generator.
a lot of lists.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no. So we make our way east to Stone Dust Trail, and here we just have some wild grass patches, some trainers to battle. Up to this point, we've had what, one or two battles, maybe 3, not very many. I didn't really have much of an issue with battles until getting to the cave and later in Echo Rock. But how did your guys' teams handle the battles up to this point? Pretty easy peasy. Excuse me, got the hiccups still.
Like you know how I like to do. I like to get my level on.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to say I very much missed the experience share.
Same.
I'm talking about so much walking back and forth between patches of grass and the Pokemon Center. The egg hatched for me.
Wow. So do you guys want to talk about the egg? Because
yes,
it hatched for both of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with it, but
I named mine Megan the Ponyta because it's a stallion. So Megan the Stallion.
That's pretty funny.
But it has nice stats, you know. Another special. I didn't add it to the team because, of course, I have Charmander.
Right. What did you name yours, Jeff? Did you say already?
I did not, and that's why I kind of like hinted at it in the beginning.
Mhm.
I named it Blaze.
Nice.
And mine, I'm trying to look through my notes to see where it hashed because I think mine was in the cave, like running through there like a madman.
Yeah. At first when I found out it was a Ponyta, I was like severely disappointed. So it's like,
Really?
oh, you get an egg
Yeah,
right away.
I
Like,
wrote
oh, what's it gonna
underwhelming.
be? Yeah. But it makes sense because where you get the egg, like he has Ponyta on the ranch. Like,
Yeah, and
what else would it be?
I was super excited.
It's logical, but then at the same time, like, man, the last egg. Well, okay,
Well, I mean,
that's a
I
lie.
did
But
think
Mine was
Ponyta, but like I was expecting like a special Ponyta or something, you know.
yeah,
Like at very least a static shiny.
right. But you know, coming off Bushido, where we get what was it, a Jirachi, or it was some like
Manaphy.
Man,
that's what it
that's what I
was.
got.
Yeah, we got some random mythical Pokemon in that egg.
Level 1.
Yeah. But yeah, so Stone Dust Trail, you know, you have a handful of trainer battles. I caught a Nidoran male and named him King, of course, and an Ekans and named her Snick. I used a Nidoran / Nidoran line in my first playthrough of this game. There is a new evolution for the Nidoran line, and it's really cool. I'm not using it this playthrough because I used it last time. I'm not going to go into the details, but just know if you're a fan of the Nido line, there's a cool evolution, and you should use it. It's awesome.
I'm very excited.
What'd you guys catch on this route? Anything?
Okay, so this is where I got my Poochie in at. The one that just runs up and bites you on the leg.
Yep, that's the one that I replaced my old one with.
Yeah, I named. Let's see, what did I name it? Named it How. And then I got the Egho Spiro.
Dude,
named it Hawk.
Bro, I used that my entire playthrough, my first run.
Yeah,
that is a great line.
Yeah, I haven't used it just because I at that point I had already had too many birds.
It's dark fighting.
It looks cool.
And it looks so rad.
I swear to God, it looks amazing.
The Firo, oh my gosh.
Got the overworld Sandshrew, named it Dave. The Nidoran male, I caught one of those, named it Sam.
Nice.
That's when I went back and swapped out May for Sam.
Nice.
And then I taught Sam Return because I can't remember what did I write down where we got Return at?
No, but it's probably something we found along the way. There were 2 or 3 TMs, I believe.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, taught it to him, and I said, plan on having him around a while because I had already seen the evolution. Like that was the one thing that I did see, and so I'm planning on having him around a while, so you know, Return will end up stronger. In which I got to say, by this point in the game that we are now, he's pretty much one shot and everything.
That's awesome.
The rise of Kumino's team.
I'm sensing another victory.
Yeah,
another notch in his belt.
We're gonna have to, since Showdown, of course, just puts all the Pokemon at level 100. I'm thinking way ahead now. When we do our final battle, we're gonna have to like set a level cap.
Since
we're battling, but we'll discuss that later.
Well, hold up, no, because when you beat the game, since you already beat it, what level was your team, or do you remember?
I can't remember.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
Because I would say if you was 50, if you was like somewhere around 50, I would say between 50 and 60.
Yeah, I think it was higher than that.
Higher than that?
I think.
Oh, wow.
But we'll gauge it as we get further in the season.
Okay.
Dad,
Yes,
did you catch anything here?
I did.
What'd you catch?
A lot of the same stuff. I caught a
Anything
sand.
make the team for you though?
Yes. So I caught a sand shrew. I named it Shrewman.
The Shrewman Show.
Right.
Caught a Nidoran. Named it Nitchard. Shout
Nice.
out,
Shout out,
Nick.
Wow, we said this. Both of those things at the exact same time. That was very weird.
I shook the tree.
Okay.
There's a tree that you could shake. I shook a lot of trees.
He was out there strangling the trees.
The opposite of a tree hugger.
Right.
Yeah. So I shook the tree the first time and fought a Sawaddle.
Okay.
And then I shook it again and a Weedle popped up and I caught it and named it Wendy.
Okay.
And that was it for that area. And then we run into Teal again.
Yes, Teal's here. Notes here, just looking at the spawn table. The only regional variant on this route is going to be Spearow. And there is a Fakemon on this route, another baby Pokemon, and it is Arbird, which I believe we battle a trainer battle. Someone has Arbird.
Yes. Yeah.
But this is a baby Pokemon, and if you couldn't tell by its sprite, it evolves into Skarmory. So I don't know. I mean, I know, Jared, if you're listening, I know just the mention of Skarmory like sends you into Vietnam flashbacks. It's not on the team right now, but that doesn't mean it won't be in the future. Will the rise of Lemon Pepper happen again? I don't know. You'll just have to keep listening. Shout out to season 1 where I completely decimated Jared with a Skarmory in our final battle.
That's awesome.
No, it was a close battle. It was a close battle. But yeah, what did Teal have to say? Do you remember, Jeff?
Well, let me go back. I lost my place. That's awesome. She's like out of breath for some reason, but wants to fight. I can't remember why. Like she was running somewhere.
She purposely wanted to catch up with us. She ran the entire way to just catch us to have that battle.
It's very what's the rival's name from Paldea?
Nimona.
Very Nimona like.
Yeah, but unlike Nimona, she actually just takes defeat and just leaves. You know, she doesn't promise to pester us or none of that. You know, she's just like, okay, all right,
okay,
I see
cool,
you
I'm
good.
out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, oh yeah, I did note before exiting Stone Dust, Teal catches up to us and we battle. She had a Starly level 5 and a Charmander for me level 7 or 9 or something. Pretty easy battle for my Bulbasaur to handle. But yeah, we continue east and we finally make it to Stone Dust Peak, which is the location of Thorn's Lighthouse. Finally. Yep. So again, there's quite a few grass patches for us to have some encounters. So I caught the static Bonsley in the south easternish portion of the map here. I named him Oak. Had to, shout out, he evolves into Sudowoodo, which is just a giant tree. Shout out to Professor Oak. I caught the static Shinx, named her Thundercat. Shout out to amazing artist Thundercat, which if you've never listened to Thundercat, you should, because that dude is a madman on the bass. And then I rounded out my Nido line with a Nidoran female, named her Queen, obviously. Also, fun thing, if you go to the south after the Bonsly and go down by the little pond there's an Abra. This guy's pesky. And every time you go and try to interact with him, he teleports away. So we'll see what happens with that guy. But we meet Wormwood. Oh, before we go into that, what did you guys catch? Anything? I'll start with you this time, Jeff.
Yeah, so this was our first duel battle in this section.
Right. Yes,
so
yes.
funny thing with this, there were 2 songs playing like overlapped during this battle. So it was really weird. Because you had like the area music plus the
battle music.
The battle music was like kind of jarring, but then it finally stopped. We fight a whole bunch of different pokes. I don't think I wrote them all down. Some of them were the Zapalope.
That's a new Fakemon.
And Badoo.
It's a Reggie.
That's the trainer battle, yeah.
And then Patrat.
Yep.
And a couple Nidorans.
Yep.
There was another tree. A Bonsly came out, caught it, named it Bobby. Found the Shanks.
Bobby. I don't know what like. I just love a regular old like dull human name for a Pokemon.
Bobby.
Like Dave the Sandshrew. Like sorry anyone named Dave, but like that's a hilarious name for a Sandshrew. Bobby for a Bonsly. Come on. That's great.
I also caught the Shanks, which I was so happy about.
Nice.
Named it Sheldon. And then I went to Thorn's Lab.
Nice.
That's it for me.
What'd you catch on here, Kumino?
Okay. After waxing Dakota and Jamie, because like Egho Swablu is great with snow powder. That's what I wrote.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do like just catching on this route because I was hurting. But I did get the Bonsly, named it Board because it's supposed to be some wood. Tried to catch the Abra because I was like, oh, I got a quick ball. So I'm like, I'm gonna just eat the quick ball. It just runs away before you can even start a battle. Pesky thing. Got the overworld Sphinx, named it Kurt. And battled another trainer, Hiker Gerald, that had Egho, Spiro, and a Zubat. Beat him up and made it to the Thorn Lab.
Nice.
Did you face Hiker Dale also?
No, I did not face Hiker Dale.
He had a Zubat and a Sandshrew. But he was right after Gerald.
Yeah, I must have skipped
according to
somehow.
mine. I don't know.
Yeah, there are quite a few trainers on this little patch. Looking at the encounter list, I don't see any new regionals or Fakemon that we haven't covered already. But I do see that there's a 1% chance to catch a Drifloon at nighttime, which it's quite a spawn rate to grind. But that would be a cool early game Pokemon to have a Drifloon.
Right, and just imagine if you like the shiny.
Oh my gosh, that would be brutal. But yeah, so we get to Thorn's lab. We chat with him. He's just this genius, very wide range of skills. He's like an engineer, a quantum physicist, all the stuff. Excuse me. And in his lab down in the basement, he has an advanced quantum particle displacer, which he invented. And we kind of tell him that we're like, yeah, we don't really remember who we are, like how we got here. By the way, here's this old gadget. I'm also having like an existential like life crisis here. Can you help me? And he's like, just jump into my advanced quantum particle displacer. Nothing will happen to you, and
It'll
it will
be fine.
figure out everything. But yeah, so we jump in. He uses it. He runs diagnostics on us, except
Wait. You forgot the fact that before we jumped in, we actually had to go out.
That's what except there was a hoodlum from Team Fate outside messing with the solar panels that were powering his lab. And of course, we had to like dispatch this fool.
Yeah.
And he had a Totodile level 10, a Magnemite level 11, and here is where the Arbird came into play, level 9 Arbird. After we beat up on Team Fate, he's like, well, I guess I did what I needed to do, and then he runs away.
No, he doesn't even run. He actually walks. He's like, yeah, I don't know why I had to do it, but whatever. Move out of the way so I can go do my next mission. Just like,
right. And he just casually walks away. We do nothing about it.
Right. Just like, well, okay, that's
it's kind of rude, but whatever, I guess. So we head back inside, and Thorn runs his scan. And when this happens, we're like transported into this like new area. Yes.
Sorry. I actually went to the top of the lighthouse before I went outside to fight the dude at the solar panel and found one of the TMs. I couldn't remember what number it was.
TM 70 Flash.
That's what it was. Yep. I had 70 and a question mark. I wasn't sure, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A lot of stairs to get up to the top of the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But yeah, so we get in, he runs the machine, and we're like transported to this new place, like new dimension or whatever. And it looks like ruins, but there's a bed with some like machines hooked up to it. And there's just a shadowy figure that's saying, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Like on repeat.
Yep.
And after you like walk around and try to figure out where you're at, if you just go to the bed and lay down, you hear what you read, but your character hears, Mike, hey, wake up. And when you wake up, you're like coming out of the machine here. And we tell Thorn what happened, and he's like, well, that's kind of weird. You've only been in there for like 10 seconds.
Right, he's like, there's no way you could have reached REM sleep that fast.
Yeah, he just like really like dweebed out on us. But he's like, we've only been there for like 10 seconds, like, but the machine was kind of like going wonky, so I don't know. And while he's like, I got to take a look at the data or whatever. While I'm doing this, to fix that old gadget that Wormwood gave you, I need these special batteries. We need to get them from Egho Rock Town. So head over there. They should be wrapping up their annual Koros festival. So go over there, grab what I need, and come back. By the time you get back, we can talk about what happened, and I can fix this gadget for you. So we're sent on our way. What did you guys think, though, about this little, I don't know, experience we had in the displacer? Kumino, let's start with you.
Hey, I was like, okay, this is strange, but I feel like, now this is just me theorizing. You don't have to spoil nothing for me. That's where we're from. And something happened, like some kind of accident happened, and we just don't remember. But whatever caused that accident is affecting the person that was saying that they can't help us.
Oh,
That's what I believe.
interesting.
Okay.
I like
do you
that
think?
theory.
What do you think, Dad?
I don't know. I thought it
You're
was
just like,
weird.
okay. You're like, hey, at least it's not a cave, I guess.
Right, there you go.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I remember the first time it was just like yeah, okay, this is very strange. I wonder what the heck's going on. I was very confused. Yeah, well, that we'll definitely be revisiting that, of course. So to get to Echo Rock Town, we got to go east some more. So we go through a couple other routes here with some wild encounters and some trainer battles. First up, Stone Dust Grove. Here I caught a Mindfu and named him Jackie after Jackie Chan, of course. And there is a trick house here on this route, which
Yeah.
if you remember from the interview, he said, Legend of Zelda was kind of an inspiration for this, and you can definitely feel that in the trick house because he uses sound effects pulled directly from there when you open the chests and whatnot. But there were 2 full heals, 3 soda pops, and a PP up. Dad, did you catch anything on this route?
I caught a Pucciina.
Okay.
Named it Paul.
Right.
I don't know why. Also, my Squirtle evolved into War Turtle.
Nice.
Very happy about that. That was pretty awesome. So I put at the cave, I think his name was Donnie. He was there. He was questioning his life choices. He was going to find another way and give us something to take. Give us something to take with us. And then that's where I went to the.
He gave us what, like a berry juice or something to give to a friend.
Yep.
Kuno, did you catch any? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just looking real quick. Oh, then I put down freaking cave. So I'm ready to.
This is where the nightmare began.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Kumino, did you catch anything here in Stone Dust Grove?
No, I did not. I just beat up people because I was out of balls.
Hate to see
it. I ran out of balls too.
Here again on the encounter table, 5% chance of a Drifloon. So I don't know why I'm so drawn to this Drifloon, but no regionals or Fakemon here. Into Echo Ridge Cave we go. I did not catch anything inside the cave. Nothing really caught my eye. And I don't want to make these guys relive the nightmare of the cave unless there's anything like super specific you want to talk about.
I mean, first and foremost, I already brought it up, so I'll go ahead and go through it. Starting out the cave, I didn't have any balls, but once you're in the cave, you start finding some Pokeballs, and Great Balls and stuff. But needless to say, the overworld Onyx just is a beast and just would not go into anything. So I ran out of balls again, as it blacked me out.
Oh no!
Yeah, I hate to see it.
Yeah, and then after I did finally defeat it, it was a trainer, Hiker Darwin. He had an Onyx, and that thing wrecked me. Took out all of my team except for one. It just, Jesus Christ, like the Onyx is rough in this game, man. Onyx is rough in this game.
All right, I'll note that down. There are some pretty cool spawns in this cave, though. You have Teddy Ursa. Low, it's like a 4% chance. Aeron, it's a low one. There is Sableye, but also Smoochum, which, hear me out, new final evolution to Jinx, which is really cool. Used it in my last play. If you fancy yourself a psychic ice type, you should pick up a Smoochum.
That sounds
Well,
pretty
I'm
rowdy.
gonna put it to you like this: I was in there so long and encountered them so many times, I thought they were just normal.
It's a 1% encounter rate on the first floor.
Yeah, I thought it was just normal.
Wow.
Oh my gosh,
They were out to
that's
get you.
hilarious. But yeah, new final evolution of Jinx, very cool. So yeah,
So I caught a Psyduck and named it Psycho.
was it outside in the fake exit?
Oh yeah,
There was a
out
fake
there.
exit. I don't remember if that's
Yeah.
where it was.
Yeah,
Which made me go in a circle. Yeah,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
yeah. But I
This-
got the
this-
overworld pseudo wudo and named it Dummy
nice.
because I was trying to pick the berries and accidentally clicked on it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did you do that, Dad? I expect that from Dad Kumino. Come on.
No, I didn't have anything like that happen.
I did
Although
get-
my
You do get a quick claw in TM10 out there. So
Yeah.
you got that.
I did catch that overworld Psyduck too, and I don't know if you'll ever listen to this Bio Civ, but I named it Civ after you because your favorite Pokemon is Psyduck,
nice.
and
shout out.
you're on the squad. You're on the squad.
Nice.
This is where my Shanks evolved into Luxio, which I was very happy about. And
Okay.
this is where the egg hatched. And then I made it through the freaking maze and made it to Echo Rock Town.
He put that. I put finally made it to Echo Rock. like if it was animated, it would be me crawling out of there.
Just all beaten and tattered. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Your Pokemon dragging your body.
Right. Because I only had it was Regal, the Swablu that was still alive with like 3 HP. So it would have been dragging me out.
That's hilarious. So by the way, at this point, I realize I haven't been doing a great job of like saying what's been on my team so far. But at this point, I have my Bulbasaur, of course, the Psyduck, the Poochyena, the Egho Hoot Hoot, the Stunky, and then oh man, I forget my sixth. I had a sixth, but I ended up switching it out here in Echo Rock Town. But what do you guys remember what your teams were kind of like at this point, or
okay,
it's not a big deal if you don't, but
okay, I remember what my team was in the cave. Okay, so it was Nidoran, who evolved into Nidorino.
Nice.
Charmander evolved into Charmeleon. I have Lotad that evolved into Lombre.
Nice.
Ralts is still Ralts. The Hoot Hoot is still Hoot Hoot. And Regal is still the Swablu.
Nice.
Coming out of the cave.
There is a cool regional Lotad that has not been encounterable up to this point, but just know there is a very cool regional Lotad.
So it's a regional Lotad. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, got a little dry throat there. Dad, do you recall your team at this point?
Yeah, I had my Ponyta, my Wartortle, Hoppip, Sandshrew, Shinx, which is Luxio now, and then my Nidoran.
Nice. So we come out of the cave and we're in Echo Rock Town, and Lucy, Wormwood's assistant, is there, and she tells us, kind of what's going on. It's they're in the middle / winding down the Koros Festival, which, a few details, originally started as a celebration of Palkia, who saved Egho like 100 years ago. Some ruffians that lived in Dunestone Desert stole the Azure flute and used it to summon Giratina in hopes to harness its power and warp reality, of course. Palkia showed up and saved the day. The battle destroyed the Chaos Temple. Some say Dialga helped, but quote, that doesn't fit our narrative. So they don't include Dialga. So every year they have this festival to kind of remember and celebrate this. There's like a big statue of Palkia in the center of the town, which looks really cool. There's quite a few shops and
that we can't go into.
Yeah, because everything's locked because of the
Yep.
festival. However, the Pokemon Center is open, which is kind. A few fun things to note here in the southeast of the town. There's a wishing well, and there are like you can throw money in it, and
I did.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you can get depending on the amount of money you throw in. Like the higher the amount, the better the thing. One of them is a Fakemon.
I was going to say a Slowpoke tail.
No. But yeah, so that's going on. And there's the move relearner, which is nice. Later on, there's a lot of backtracking through the region. So we'll come back here and see what else is available here. But at this point, it's just the festival. You can waste your money in the wishing well now if you want, or you can go to the wiki page and see how much you have to throw in to get certain things. But the whole reason we're here is to get the ore, and the miner right outside the cave says, hey, if you beat that old guy right there, his name's Gerald, if you beat him, I'll give you this ore. He's pretty strong trainer. He's one of the members of the Egho Council, which is their version of gym leaders. So what else do we got to do? We got to go take on this Gerald fool. That's right. So I go fight him. He's got a Shinx level 15, a Nidorina level 16, and a Fearow level 20. Hooch and Baggins took out the Shinx. Nidorina, I swapped in my Hoot because it knew Confusion, I think, at this point. So I tried to get the Psychic to Poison weakness there, but Nidorina took out the Toots and my Poliwag. I revived Toots, who then died again. But Dell was able to come in the Skunky to finish her off. The Fearow came in and aerial aced my team into oblivion. So I had to go do some grinding. How did your guys' first attempt go?
Well, mine actually was good because I healed up the team, and this is when I brought in Kurt for Regal. I was like, okay.
Remind us who Kurt was again?
The Shinx.
Okay.
So 2 birds on my team. Like, yeah, it's not considered a flyer, but like it's a bird. So I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, who do I want more? Do I want Hoot, who's probably going to evolve, relatively quickly, or the Swablu, who's probably a long way away from evolving? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna swap out Regal. So Regal is no longer on the team. Shinx is. And I spent time grinding up in the grass and back in the cave to get up to about level 15, 16, 17. And then I headed to beat him up, and we did wonderful. Because I had Kurt leading, and so his intimidated that Shinx when he had intimidated him. So then I swapped out to Nidorino and just double kicked the mess out of him until he died. And then the Fearow came in, and so I brought back in Shinx. Well, yeah, Shinx. Actually, no, he evolved into a Luxio at this point. He was a Luxio at the start of the battle. I'm sorry. And sparked the Pharaoh, went back and forth with that, but he came out victorious. And then in terms of Nidorina, just rocks with confusion.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Dad?
It was rough. So he crushed me after I bugged him to fight. He's like, my team isn't even ready. You know, he
Right.
pulls that line. So he crushes my team. And for some reason, I had to go through the cave system again. I don't know if I didn't
did you
save.
not? Okay, so when you black out, it sends you back to the last
last
Poke Center
Pokemon,
that you
yeah.
used. So if you didn't heal an Echo Rock, oh, dude, this is literally just
Matter
the
of fact,
worst
you don't even
nightmare.
have to heal. Only thing you have to do is just make sure you go into the Pokemon Center,
Oh,
and it'll send you back there. Oh man.
you had to go through the cave again.
That's my heart
hilarious.
aches for
So
you.
it's a literal nightmare.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
So I did some grinding in the cave. His Pharaoh was just whooping everything I had.
Yeah, because it was level 20.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I was
like the Shinx, 15. The Nidorino, 16. Pharaoh, 20.
I was
What kind of
pretty.
mess is this?
I was matched up, up until him. So I beat him. My notes make no sense. Okay, I understand now. I beat him that time. Everything had fainted except for my war turtle. So I quit the game and went back to fight him again. He won. But I had saved it. Or I had reached, the Poké Center. So I don't have to do the caves again. So he won that time. I quit and fought again. He won. Then I beat him the third time. So I actually went back into the cave and caught a Teddiursa.
Nice.
And named it Ted.
Nice.
'Cause
Yeah. What I always think of what is its evolution? I only think of the one from Arceus.
Ursaring.
Ursaring, yes. I'm thinking of Ursaluna. For some reason, that's just my mind goes straight to that one.
Because
Yeah, it's
Blood
strong.
Moon,
It's just strong.
Ursaluna in Scarlet and Violet DLC.
Yeah. I mean, Ursaring's strong. It's a strong Pokemon.
Yeah, I like Ursaring.
Fearow, though, is a pretty strong Pokemon too, and it doesn't help that he's like 4 levels above the rest of his team. But yeah. So, Jeff, even though it sounds like a nightmare to you, it is kind of like good that you had to go back through the cave for grinding purposes, because
Yeah, it helped. That helped.
Once you get to Echo Rock, you can't go back through the cave because I think Teal's in there blocking
Teal's in the way. Yep.
Yeah. So I had to grind in the south of Echo Rock Town, a small grass patch, and it took a while, but it was okay because in that small grassy area there is a Fakemon that I really wanted to add to the squad. So the grind for levels wasn't all that painful, but grinding for the Fakemon was, because it's a 1% spawn rate, so it was rough. Like I was there for probably like 30 or 40 minutes. But another cool spawn that happens here is Litwick at night. Got 6% chance, and I think this is the first time I used the Litwick line in my first play of this game. Chandelure is pretty cool. Fire Ghost. But yeah, so the Fakemon I caught here is Koki Seed, and it is a grass type, which, have some type overlap. But it evolves, its final evolution is grass fighting, and looks so cool. Like, I am super excited for this Pokemon. But yeah, so also its final form, it straight up reminds me of Crash Bandicoot, and when you see the sprite, you'll know why. So while grinding, I caught a Chingling, named her Jingle. Baggins ended up evolving into Ivysaur. I caught the Koki Seed and switched it out, named it Crash because, like I said, the final evolution makes me think of Crash Bandicoot. So at this point, my team is Baggins the Bulbasaur, Crash the Koki Seed, Civ the Psyduck, Hooch the Poochyena, Toots the Egho Hoot, and Dell the Stunky. I go back, my second attempt, I'm able to beat Gerald. I make it through Shinx Nidorina, no problem. Get to Firo. Everyone on my team's still alive except for Toots. Rest in peace. But I started out using my newfound strategy during difficult trainer battles, and that is poison. So I send out Dell. I poison Firo. And then when Dell died, I put in Civ, my Psyduck, who knew Disable. And Psyduck was able to tank an Aerial Ace and then disable Aerial Ace, which was super nice. And then I was able to chip away at its HP with Baggins to finish off the Firo. And there we beat Gerald. So we head back over to the miner. He gives us the what is the name of the ore? It doesn't matter.
Arcanium, something like that. Arcanium.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Arcanium ore. So he gives us the ore we need that Thorn needs to fix the batteries in the old gadget. So Jeff's favorite part, we head back through. Oh no, I guess now at this point we can fly, right?
Yeah.
So we get access to fly.
I went through the cave.
I
sure did.
Nice.
I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently.
So, cool thing about the HMs in this game, you don't have to actually teach it to any Pokemon as long as you have a Pokemon in your team that could learn that move. So I didn't have to teach fly to anyone, but I have a Hoot on my team, so I was able to fly back. So something to keep in mind down the road. But we make it back to Thorn's lab, and he's like, all right, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is because of this ore, I was able to fix this old gadget. And much to Kumino's probably glee, this old gadget is our experience share. So we don't have it there in the first leg, but we get it at the end of leg 1, which is very nice.
Very happy about that.
The bad news.
Much needed.
He needs some more time to figure out what's going on. So he sends us on another fetch quest. This time, we have to deliver a letter to the commissioner of the Safari Zone because it's basically Thorn's like, hey, I don't have time or the interest to go to the Safari Zone event that I've been invited to. So I want you to deliver the rejection letter. And I think it's kind of cool, the reasoning why he was invited. Some of his solar panels were used in the Safari Zone or something. So there's some connection there, which is kind of cool way to explain that. But yeah, let's do team recaps, and then that wraps up leg 1, guys. So Kumino, could you do us the honors? Let us know what your team was now that you finished.
All right. Well, Cray, the Egho Hoot, level 15. Sassy, the Lombre, level 15. Fancy, the Ralts at level 17. Els, the Egho Charmeleon, level 16. Sam, the Nina Reno, level 17. And Kurt Deluxio at level 19.
Nice. Dad?
So, unlike Bushido, where I was like pretty high level wise, I'm super underleveled now. I've got Blaze, my Ponyta, level 11.
Wow.
Ricky, my War Turtle, level 20. Happy, the Hoppip, level 13. Shroomin, my Sandshrew at level 11, Sheldon, my Luxio at 16, and Nichard, my Nidoran, at level 12.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be thankful for the experience share, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I had to like push myself to like switch them out a lot.
Yeah. So I ended with Baggins the Bulbasaur at level 18. Of course, has Rough Skin, which is a really cool ability to have. Physical attacks damage the attacker,
That's amazing.
which is nice. Crash the Cookie Seed. He's level 15. Civ the Psyduck is level 16. Hooch the Puccina, level 17. Toots the Ego Hoot level 17. And Dell, my Stunky, level 16. Has a cool ability, Stench, which I've never heard of before. Sorry, the hiccups again. But essentially, Stench is this Pokemon stinks, so it might make the opponent flinch, which is awesome because it
makes sense.
It triggered a lot, and I was like, what am I using that is making these Pokemon flinch? But I loved it. But then I looked at the ability. I was like, oh, that is what. But yeah. So leg 1 is done in the books. We got our first badge, the Quill badge from Geralt, the first member of the Ego Council that we've encountered. And even though we've completed a leg, we still have no idea what's going on with us, with our character, who we are, how we got here, and what the heck is going on. So if that isn't a cliffhanger to come back and play through and listen to episode 2, leg 2 of this, I don't know what is. So hopefully we see you guys back next episode. Make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know what teams you used, if you caught any cool Ego regional variants or any of the Fakemon here. That'd be great. Until then, though, we'll see you in episode 2. Have a good one.
Peace.